Welcome back. You are watching The Broker Life. My name is Steve. I'm the broker of Savvy Realty here in Las Vegas. I am right now walking I'm actually in the middle of my house. So it may not look like I'm in a house, but this will be a house very soon. Today, actually, so here, let me spin around. You can see all the land behind me, all the dirt. But we passed our compaction test for our third-party inspector to make sure our foundation will be solid, and actually our dirt came back in as 100% compacted. So we are absolutely perfect, not even a hair off. So I was super excited how that turned out, which means since we passed that test, the compaction test for our soil, now we're going to be able to go ahead and map out where our footings are going to be and where our plumbing is going to be. So today I have a gentleman that's coming who does the cement pads and the plumbing, and he is going to be putting marks on the ground for our excavators to come back and dig out all of the footings for the foundation of the home and the plumbing for all of the underground plumbing part of this house. So underground, of course, is going to be all the sewer area, and then all of the water for supplying all of your faucets and your sinks. That's going to be coming from the attic on down through the walls. So we won't be dealing with that part of it today, but we will be doing with all the dirty stuff, all the wastewater. So we are going to be putting marks on the ground and actually getting this project really mapped out. I'm super excited about it, and they're going to be here any minute, and you're going to be able to see how they do it. So let's get into it. So to give you some background on this house, I'll put the information down below, but I really need to explain to you what this property will be and how I designed it. So as a broker here in Las Vegas, I really, for all my investments, I think of resale. So I really go into it not as, man, this is the favorite thing for me. This is, what I really want. I think of you guys or other people who could potentially be a buyer for this property in the future. I look at the market, I say, what does the market want? What is it missing? And how can I fill that gap? So with designing this house, that was at the forefront of my mind. Now, with doing that, I had to take into consideration a few different things. The size of the house. This is going to be $1 million plus house, but how big should it actually be? And from my market research and the clients that I deal with, it's really in the square footage range wise for the house, 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. That's what a lot of people that are going to be paying this price point are looking for. They are most likely going to be someone who doesn't have a large family. They may be moving into town from out of state, and they could be even retirees. We get a lot of snowbirds coming from the Midwest, and of course everybody knows we get Californians coming to escape the high taxes that they have in California right now. So I think that's who it's going to be. It could be anybody, but that's kind of who I plan this around. So the square footage for this house is actually going to be about 3,400 square feet. Not too big, not too small, but where I went really big was the garage. The garage, oh man, it's gonna be huge. So it is going to be, oh look, I got my plumber guys coming up, but it's gonna be 2,100, just over 2,100 square feet. It is gonna have a full RV garage that will be 60 feet long and 17 feet wide. So people who are RV enthusiasts can pull out the sides of their RV and have it completely opened up if they want to work on it, or just have it up and use it. And then the 2-car garage that comes along with it is going to be extra big. It's going to be about 30 feet wide or 35 feet wide, and then 30 feet deep. So really, this garage could hold about 11 vehicles if you really want to pack it in there. But I designed it for someone who is going to be having either a toy hauler or an RV, and then of course some toys, because everybody wants a larger garage. But that is what I've designed the house for, and that is what I think people want right now. There's a whole community, to highlight the point of the RV garage being a thing, there's a whole community that has there's a big builder, America West, then they got bought up by Pulte, and now I think they are a different name right now, but they did RV garage. Their community sold out so fast, they kept doing RV garages. So they were ahead of the curve, and I'm gonna be doing the exact same thing. But here we go, we got our guys here, and I'll get back with you. All right, guys, so we have done it. Yesterday, I cut you off yesterday, but we had the crew come in and actually do all of the mapping out of the foundation and for the footings. So we painted on the ground the actual map of the house, and it was instructions for our diggers, which you can hear them on the side, and I'll show you in a second, to how to dig, basically, all of the footings for the house. Now the footings are going to be mostly on the outside. It's going to be all around the outside of the house. It's where your cement goes down and kind of falls into the ground about 1.5 feet, well actually 2 feet off the top of your pad, or the top of your foundation of your finished floor. So all of that's being dug today, and we do have some that are interior for the house to support some metal beams that we're going to be putting in the house as well. But I am standing right now in the front door of the house. It may just look like paint on the ground, but this is where it's actually going to be. And I can walk inside and say, all right, now I can see my kitchen's going to be off to the left, and my sliding glass doors are going to be off to the right, and I can really get a feel for the house. This is actually pretty exciting. I am stoked on it, because now I can walk around and pretend, you know, see how it feels on the inside of the property, right? Right now we have Jay, Vegas Digger, is digging up all of the footings right now, and he is right here. Woo. So I call him Vegas Digger. I told him he needs to get his own YouTube channel going. He is not interested at the moment, but at some point he will. If I talk to him enough. But these are the footings that he's digging right now. And it's really interesting because how they have this set up, here we go, we got the dirt, we're a foot down into the dirt here. But how they have this set up is it's its own language, really, how these people map out these houses. So when you're digging out your house, you have to have your digger, whoever's doing the digging for your property, meet up with these people that are doing all these lines, because they all have specific ways they want to be dug. So apparently, if you can dig on the center of the line, you could dig to the right of the line. They call it hanging a tooth of the bucket, right? So let's say if your bucket's going in, it would go like that. You'd hang a tooth. Or they say half a tooth, or in the middle. It's all sorts of crazy to me, but these guys know what they're doing, and they can understand each other when they're talking. So that's a plus. But so, one thing I wanted to tell you guys too. Jay's taking a break. One thing I wanted to tell you guys though is when you're having these guys come out with the crew and doing the map out of the whole foundation area, or all of the foundation, when they're doing the map out with all these lines on the ground, you need to make sure that your architect and your architect has put all of the dimensions possible that he could possibly think about, so these guys can do all of the math that they need to do to lay out everything exactly right. Because if you have a column or a metal beam that's going to be in your house somewhere, they need that exact location down to the inches. So if you don't have all of those numbers readily available, then they're going to say, hey, we need these or else we can't complete our job. So it's very important to have all of the distances for all of the walls and distances from posts to walls, everything you can, so when these guys are on the job, they can figure out what they need to do for your house. With my situation, there was numbers missing. Luckily, one of my friends is an engineer and also clued me into being able to open the special files that they have called CAD files on our phones, so we were able to problem solve it and figure out all the dimensions that these guys needed very precisely. So it was really cool. There was an app on my phone, I forget what it was called, I'll try to look that up, but it was able to open up the CAD files, which is a very intense program that engineers use and so many people use to create detailed plans of homes and other items as well. But we were able to open up on our phones and get those exact numbers. But if we did not have that, and I didn't have an engineer friend on the job yesterday just stopping by to say hi, then we would be in trouble and I have to wait a few days to get a response back from our architect. So don't want delays. Make sure you have all the information possible. That's what I have for you right now, and I think it's kind of a whole lot of information to unpack, but I'll keep on filming their next steps. We should be able to get all this stuff dug hopefully today, and in the next few days we're going to be doing forms and getting our iron in, getting our plumbing down, and getting electrical started and plumbed in. But I will show all of that to you guys here as it comes along. Of course, like the video if you can and give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this or about other real estate here in Las Vegas, and I do appreciate it. It does help the channel out, and have a good day. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.